Being that he was the previous pound-for-pound king before you, does he get a little more attention than other great fighters from you when it came to studying him on the way up? Or?
Of course.
What'd you take from him?
He was my era.
Buckle up, guys. Today we're stepping into a moment nobody saw coming. Terence Crawford, known for his calm and discipline, finally lets his guard down verbally. The opening feels respectful on the surface, but there's tension buried underneath every pause. This isn't manufactured drama or promotional noise. You can feel unresolved history creeping in early. The questions sound innocent, but the answers carry weight. This intro quietly signals that something bigger is unfolding. By the end of this segment, you already sense this story won't stay polite for long.
Got any thoughts on that fight with Mario Barrios, and is there any chance we see you still in there at 46?
Nah, at 46, I don't plan on being back in the ring, but Mario Barrios is a great matchup for Manny Pacquiao. And I think, at this age, it's a 50-50 fight for Manny Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao's return instantly pulls at boxing's emotional core. At 46 years old, he steps back into relevance and fans fall into nostalgia fast. The conversation shifts from realism to memory, from logic to legacy. Manny doesn't just return to fight, he returns with ambition. Mentioning names reignites excitement across generations. But nostalgia has a dangerous side, it clouds judgment. This moment feels hopeful yet fragile. You can already tell reality is waiting to interrupt the dream.
What would you do to beat Terence Crawford that no one has been able to do yet?
Just counter the speed and hard punches and strong punches and moving around like side by side and throwing a lot of punches.
This is where fantasy turns electric. Pacquiao doesn't dance around it, he calls out Terence Crawford directly. He speaks confidently, outlining strategy like this is a real plan. Fans start imagining the impossible. Speed, movement, pressure, it sounds convincing enough to suspend disbelief. The boxing world buzzes instantly. But beneath the excitement, there's a quiet disbelief. The question isn't whether fans want it. The question is whether it makes sense.
If you were to fight, let's say Terence Crawford, what weight would you want to fight at?
147.
147 still?
Yeah.
All right, well, I think you might be watching this. This is going to make a little bit of news. Why don't you go ahead and challenge him right now?
Because my natural weight is 140, so I'm just moving up to 147, so not to getting hard to reduce.
He says he wants to fight Canelo, maybe at 168 pounds. Did you imagine him beating Canelo at that weight?
I don't know. Let's wait.
This is where the cracks appear. Pacquiao adds conditions, especially the weight demand, and the tone shifts immediately. Suddenly this isn't about legacy, it's about control. Asking for 140 pounds against a man dominating higher divisions feels strategic, not brave. The contradiction in Manny's own words doesn't go unnoticed. Excitement cools into scrutiny. Fans start reading between the lines. This is the moment where belief starts slipping. Something feels off, and everyone senses it.
Manny Pacquiao claimed that you were afraid to fight him. You want to clear that up?
Listen, we've been calling for that fight since 2015. Everybody know Bob Arum wanted to make the fight. Pacquiao and Freddie Roach, they didn't want them to fight. They wanted $20 million, which basically they outpriced themselves.
And what would you get?
I don't know.
Crawford finally answers, and the temperature changes. He's calm, but the frustration is undeniable. Bud reminds everyone that this fight was possible years ago. He makes it clear he wasn't the obstacle. There's no trash talk, just facts. This response reframes the entire narrative. Suddenly, the idea of fear flips direction. Crawford sounds less defensive and more fed up. This is the start of him reclaiming the story. This part exposes the power shift in boxing. Crawford explains that time changes leverage, even for legends. Manny isn't the A side anymore, and Bud knows it. There's respect, but no submission. Crawford speaks from a position of earned authority. This isn't arrogance, it's reality. The boxing world has moved forward. Legends don't freeze the sport in time. This moment firmly establishes who holds the cards now.
You look at my career and you look at his career, he had the support since he's been amateur. So he had money behind him since he was 15 years old. So he already had people that believe in him and put the money behind him and get him, in the best camps, put him in the best situations. All he had to do was focus on boxing. I never had that. He had the support before he even was Canelo out.
History comes rushing back hard here. Crawford revisits 2015, when the fight was close but never finalized. Negotiations stalled, excuses piled up, and protection became the theme. Hearing it now reframes the past completely. What once felt like timing now feels intentional. Bud didn't forget those moments. He stored them. This isn't bitterness, it's memory. And it explains why today's call-out hits differently.
You wanted to fight Manny Pacquiao. I think you were like 27, 28 when you wanted to fight Pac. Why didn't that fight happen?
I hear so many excuses like they didn't want it, but Freddie Roach on the record saying he didn't want Pacquiao to fight. I just think Top Rank wanted to protect Pacquiao because of the money issue.
This is where respect turns into resentment. Crawford points out the timing, and it cuts deep. Manny wants the fight now, not when Bud was younger and riskier. From Crawford's perspective, that's calculated. The danger didn't disappear, it matured. Bud believes Manny knows exactly what he's doing. This moment makes it personal. It's not about belts anymore. It's about principle.
To him, he says he's moving up to his upcoming fight. Make sure that he focus on speed. He focus on how to improve his strength and while maintaining the speed.
The old narrative resurfaces, and it clearly strikes a nerve. For years, Crawford was labeled boring, unsellable, invisible. Hearing it again feels insulting at this stage. Bud isn't angry, he's exhausted. He's carried this label through elite performances. This moment shows the emotional cost of those narratives. It's not just criticism, it's erasure. And Crawford is done letting it slide.
It feels great for one reason. A lot of people for years always ran with this narrative that I fight nobodies, I can't sell, I don't have personality, I'm this, I'm that, all these negative things. And look at all this, to see me fight Canelo. What can they say now?
Reality speaks loud here. The Spence fight shattered expectations. The Canelo fight rewrote history. Crawford didn't just win, he dominated on the biggest stages. The numbers followed, the respect followed, the platforms followed. This segment kills the old excuses completely. At this point, denial sounds dishonest. Bud proved he sells when given the stage. This is legacy confirmation, not debate.
How hard did he hit? How hard did he hit?
He didn't hit as hard as I thought he was. He's definitely technical, but, I've been hit harder.
This is the moment everything explodes. Crawford hints at something boxing has whispered about for years. He never says it directly, but the implication is clear. Testing timelines and performance shifts come into focus. This isn't casual commentary, it's a legacy challenge. The room feels tense immediately. Fans know exactly what's being suggested. Whether fair or not, this crosses a line. And once crossed, there's no going back.
Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford's.
Once that door opens, others walk through it. Fighters and analysts echo similar suspicions from the past. Old debates resurface with new weight. This isn't just one man talking anymore. It becomes a broader conversation the sport avoided. Fans are split instantly. Some feel vindicated, others feel offended. This segment deepens the controversy. Boxing history feels unsettled again.
Got Manny Pacquiao top 5.
He's down.
Why he's not up there?
But
You
why?
should know that reason.
It's your interview.
Man, Manny's a generational talented fighter. Like, he's accomplished what no other fighter is ever going to accomplish.
Yeah.
Again, but I don't feel like, he did it on his own. That's me personally, because for the simple fact, when Floyd made it a point for him to do the blood test, he didn't want to do the blood test. But then when he did do the blood test, he haven't got a knockout since.
Motions finally spill over. The conversation loses structure and patience disappears. Voices overlap, frustration rises, and composure cracks. Crawford looks done playing the polite role. This feels raw, unscripted, and uncomfortable. You're watching years of restraint dissolve. It's not promotional heat, it's genuine irritation. This moment humanizes Bud. Champions get tired too.
Well, the big one was Manny. Manny was the one that everybody was always accusing. And Manny was the first. Manny went up 8 weight classes.
Yeah.
And kept his knockout power.
He's fighting as a little boy and then just was like
crazy. And kept the knockout power.
True.
And most people thought that Manny was on PEDs.
Correct.
And then they thought that Manny got off PEDs when he fought Juan Manuel Marquez and he got starched.
But there's a two-sided story there. He got off PEDs and he also found Jesus Christ. So he stopped going to strip clubs, he stopped hanging out with girls, but he stopped having fun. And then got serious about Jesus and got knocked the fuck.
The focus snaps back to the ring with surgical precision. The breakdown of the Canelo fight is methodical and ruthless. Crawford's control, distance management, and composure stand out. This isn't power versus power, it's intelligence versus expectation. Every technical detail reinforces Bud's dominance. This segment reminds viewers why words don't matter when performance speaks. Crawford didn't survive Canelo, he dismantled him. That's the difference.
You a
yeah, there is stuff.
You a
see
you a
you
hold talking to let Aaron
you
because you keep talking like a
you
doing all that talking.
That's how
you doing all that talking.
You catch me, I come back.
You don't talk, and you talking too much.
This
you want some attention?
Some icon right here. This is gonna be legendary right here.
Female ass.
See y'all tuning in. This is a legendary old school fight.
Get out some attention. Put the camera on him because that's what he's doing. Showing out like a female. Let him finish, bud. Go ahead, EJ. Yeah, all right.
The inevitable comparison arrives. Floyd Mayweather's name enters the conversation, and Crawford shuts it down calmly. He's not chasing ghosts or mirrors. He's defining his own era. When Canelo says Bud is better than Floyd, it hits differently. That's not fan talk, that's elite recognition. This moment elevates Crawford into rare air. Comparisons stop being hypothetical. They become unavoidable.
Thank you, GOAT, because you are the GOAT of this era. Terence Bud Crawford.
Everything settles into clarity here. The Pacquiao fight isn't happening, not because of fear, but reality. Age, weight, leverage, and motivation don't align. Manny calling out Bud feels more like relevance than intent. Crawford sees through it completely. He doesn't need validation, money, or legacy boosts. His resume already speaks. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.